Hi, welcome to episode 27 here at Spen United. So we are into season number 3 and into the championship. So lots of lots of bits have started already. So if we go quickly into the emails, so let's start with our performance. So from last year, saying now the season has come to an end. Sub board have met to review our progress of the club on and off the pitch. While we weren't able to achieve all the objectives, that was basically just the financial one that we couldn't do. They say the playing side, they're very happy or they're satisfied with the performance overall. So they are being quite harsh in there, I'd say. But yeah, we picked. This is the tournament we're gonna go in. I think it was the second highest tournament prize money wise, just because the highest, I think it was only a couple 100,000 more, but there were a lot more recognisable teams in there. I think we just want to get a few. I'm not really too worried about the money at this point. So Ellis Ward has left, so he's already gone. So Krychek, Ray and Phoenix have all gone out on loan. So transfer wise, we've got 8.5 million in the budget, and youth development. So I've already had a couple of players that have been signed to the defender position because we'd still got the English one running over from last year. So yeah, we've signed 2 defenders. So that's already one of the youth development ones picked up. So we've got to sign 3 players younger than 20. So again, we should be able to do that reasonably easily. The long-term one is within 2 seasons, sign 4 players to the senior team, play them in 20 matches either as the starting 11. So that should be fine. In 2 seasons, we should have at least 1 or 2 that can get some game time. So brand exposure is just to get 7 wins in the league. That may be actually a little bit difficult, and it does sound, because I have put it up to legendary now on the difficulty setting. So we'll see how that actually balances out, because as I've raised the level to legendary, I have actually knocked the sliders back to default, so that everything's back to 50. So last season, obviously, we were on world class, and I'd actually I'd bumped up some of their computer stats, so it made it a little bit harder, but we'll see how that pans out. Financially, it's still to make this £7 million in profit from youth sales. I don't know whether that's actually working, so we have sold players, and it's not gone on to that profit, so I think that's just a case of that's just going to eventually run out this year, and then we'll get new ones next year. So success domestically is to avoid relegation and reach the round of 16 stage. Long term is to finish mid-table. So again, because we have changed the settings, I don't the difficulty settings. I think it may be just a case of trying to avoid relegation, just for this first season. I have set up new scouting. I did also go in and actually get rid of one of the staff. So even though we've moved up to the championship, I don't want to radically change all the staff. So I have just changed the one, and we've got this guy Will Edwards in. He's a 4-star, 4-star, 4-star. I couldn't get a 3-star, and I did want an Englishman to be scouting in England. So we've gone 4-star, 4-star. So a little bit over, you would say, because we are in a 3-star team, but just the fact that I've kept these other 2 at 2-star, 3-star, I think that balances it out a little bit. So yeah, we've sent one to England for 9 months, and they're looking for anything. We've got a Spanish guy looking for technically gifted for 9 months, and then I've gone domestic. We've gone Wales for a winger for 3 months. So we have branched out a little bit. We've gone to Spain, and I think with the other one, we'll just every 3 months we'll keep it like Scotland and Ireland so that'll be a more domestic. We'll just have the one that's going a little bit further afield. So we've got Spain this year, possibly next year we could go maybe Germany or France or something like that. Yeah, transfers wise, so we've actually hit a bit of an issue in the fact that Archie Beard is now unable to be sold. So Portsmouth, unfortunately, they've not gotten any depth in that position. So even though he was the main man who was looking to go out and get, at the minute we can't pick him up. So whether that changes if Portsmouth actually pick up a player. So obviously it would have been perfect if we could have maybe exchanged. We could have sent Gordon Stewart the opposite way, but it's not even given us the option. So that is a little bit annoying. And also with this Joshua Gillette, it's still saying that he's only just really recently joined the club. So he must have joined them in January last year. So it's going to be until January where we can actually go and approach him. So that's two transfers we were looking to pick up early on in today's episode. We can't do either, so it is a little bit disappointing. But yeah, apart from that, I think it's just about now going through to pre-season. But if we have a quick look at the squad, so this is what we're looking at the minute. As you can see, it's pretty much the same as last year. The differences coming in the reserves really is that Rodgers has dropped into the reserves along with Reed, who's come back, and then we've got Young, who's a centre back now. So little bit of changes there, but I have actually put several players up for sale. And so we've got Glynn, who's now transfer listed. Kearney is transfer listed. Stewart I've also put up transfer list, just because he's not any good to us really going forward. We do have several keepers in the youth setup, so we may as well try and move him on. Manning I've put up for loan at the moment. I think just because his overall is not good enough, is not really improved as much as I would have liked. So it might be a case of getting him out for a year. Hopefully he has a lot of game time and comes back much improved. So it will mean we're going to look for a new left back, somebody who's a little bit closer to Campbell to push him on a bit. Yeah, so we've put Gordon Stewart up for transfer list. I think we've not got, it's still glitched, so we can't really do much with him. I would have liked to have swapped him out for Beard, but like we don't have that option at the moment. So Tobias Crow, we're looking to loan him out. Rodgers, we'll put him up for loan, but because Gillette can't leave at the moment, maybe Rodgers does have to stay until January, until we can make a change. So that might be with everybody really. We've put Rodgers, Manning up for loan, but maybe in Stewart as well. Maybe we do have to hold on to them until January, till we can actually get the players we want in. So it may be the fact that we don't have the option to move some of these players on. And then Ellis Moss I have also put up for transfer list, just because he's 24 now, he's not improved overall. I think that's just the way to go. So financially, so we've got a few players here that are into the last years of the contract. So we've got Bailey and Arlo Sharp. So at the moment, I'm not really sure whether to give them a new contract or not. They are 31 and they're playing reasonably well. Or they did pretty good for us last year, so maybe we do. Same with Dexter Fleming. He's 65 overall, so he's not terrible. Right, so I have offered some contracts out. So Dexter Fleming, I have just improved his contract length. It's just not updated yet, so he has gone on to an extra contract. I think it's 2,600 I've just given him. Ryan Bailey, so he's gone on a new contract. It's gone up to 6,700, so a slight wage increase. It gets him on for an extra year, but more importantly, it's knocked his squad role down to important. So at 31, I think it does just allow us then just to phase him out a little bit. So he's still going to stay as our captain, and he will be our main starter along with Arlo Sharp. But definitely, I think I need to get A-Ra into the starting lineup a lot more. In Sharp, we got onto an extra year contract as well. His wages had to go up a little bit more, and he has stayed as a crucial squad role. So it will be a case of Sharp and A-Ra we will start to put them together a little bit more, just to phase Bailey out a little bit. I think he is slightly, well, clearly overall is slightly weaker, but I do believe that Ryan Bailey will probably be the one that we will phase out the quicker. Apart from that, everybody else is pretty much happy with their contracts. Lucas at the minute is our highest earner. He's up to £8,500 a week. Well, Dyer O'Connor's there as well, 8.5, and then Sharp now up to 8. So yeah, so everybody's still reasonably cheap with the wages, and that's bared out by you have a quick look at the finances. So it does mean that our wages have, even though they have gone up, so it's up to £62,000 a week now. So it's gone up quite a bit, but we did lose a few players in the off season, and that will obviously have a big impact once we do start to move some of these keepers on, etc. So we'll see at that. Shirt sales, clearly, that has massively improved, and I did as well improve the squad, the stadium, the capacity. So that went up from originally, I think it was the worst capacity, which was 9,800 or something like that. But now that we're in the championship, I think the average attendance, I believe, is around about 20,000 mark or something for most of the teams. So well, you look through the league, I think 20,000's around the average stadium size. So that's what we've gone with. So I've gone for a capacity crowd of 20,000. So hopefully that will improve the amount of money that we have coming in from that as well. But like I say, the wages at the minute only 62,000. So shirt sales are more than covering that. So when we gain the money coming in for attendance as well, that's going to massively improve. That's pretty much it then. So we unfortunately can't get the transfers in that we would have liked. We've had a big offer here, Galatasaray. Oh no. So Dyer O'Connor, it's a fee of 7.5 million. So Dyer O'Connor, I'm sure he was only worth about 4 million at the end of last season. And it is high, so he has got a value of 4.3 million. Galatasaray have come in high, 7.5 million. It's saying we can get up to 8.1. Galatasaray, so I would have sooner have only have sold him to maybe a Premier League team, but Galatasaray, it's a big club, so I think we have to negotiate. And what did we go in for though? Say we can get up to 8.1, and like I say, they are already very high. Do we maybe go 9 million, or is that a bit too much? So we've got 8.5. So submit 8.5. Oh, and they've gone straight in. So, so that could be it. O'Connor, he's going to have to decide if he wants to stay or not. So Dyer O'Connor has been our main man. Samari did come in and play well at the end, but Samari, is he good enough to go all out? So Dyer O'Connor is 30 years old. Oh, so it is one of those where You can see his value, it's double his value, £8.5 million. It's a lot of money for him, but it's going to be sad to see him go. So Galatasaray, is that a team that he's going to want to go to? You would expect it would be, to try and push him on. And Jake Manning saying, I think we say that we agree. But yeah, we get to the first game here. I do need to. So when we look at the squad, I think that's the only issue, that we literally don't have. So Ellis Moss, like I say, is not good enough to be a backup. So I think that's the main issue. I don't think you could even move anybody further forward. I guess Cameron Reed's he could play as a striker by the looks of it. So if we look at his stats, so shooting wise is not great at 57. Stamina, so agility is good. Finishing's only 53. So he could be a potential player that goes. So he could be the backup for the cam and the striker, but yeah, that's cat amongst the pigeons there. Dyer O'Connor, you can see the stats, he's just gone out of this world. And he's just such a great player, he's been such a great player for us, but can you really hold on to him? I really was expecting it to be a Premiership club comes in for him, but yeah, we'll get into the pre-season and see where we go from there. Right, so our first pre-season game is against Maritimo. I have taken out O'Connor, so Samari is going to start up top. Just we don't want to risk getting him injured really, but we'll just quick sim this and see how we get on. And it starts with a 2-2 draw, so Arlo Sharp getting us the lead. Rodrigo Andrade getting the equaliser just before half time. We took the lead again. Evan Robinson on the hour, and they scored in the last minute to get the equaliser, so not bad. I think from the stats it looked like they were perhaps the dominant team. We have a loan offer here for Rogers, so Hayden Rogers, Dusseldorf have come in. So Dusseldorf, I'm not sure, they're like first or second division German team. Yeah, so we were looking to move Rogers on. I think we have to go with a 1 year loan. I think either way, it's just a case of 62 overall. I don't think he's good enough even as a backup now. So O'Connor's we're still waiting to see if O'Connor goes. Yeah, I do think we're going to have better options elsewhere in the squad. We are scouting a lot of players as well. There's a lot of youngsters in and around, so don't know if that's a bad sign. You see that Dyer O'Connor's face is blacked out already, so I'm not sure if that's just a sign of things to come there. But yeah, I think that may be a bad omen. But yeah, we're still waiting to see if O'Connor's going to be staying with us or not. But yeah, we'll quickly go through training here. We've got another option here for Aidan Rogers. So it's definitely in demand here, Aidan Rogers. Right, so we've trained O'Connor. Still waiting to see what happens here. Does look like O'Connor has gone, so he has. Dyer O'Connor agrees personal terms with Galatasaray, so we have lost Dyer O'Connor. 8.5 million. We are going to receive 6 million of that in our transfer budget. Aidan Rodgers, just accept both of those 1 year and see which one Aidan Rodgers decides to go to. Yeah, so Samare is going to be the main man. Dara O'Connor has moved on. So Samare, like I say, he had a good chance, and I'll say this is your chance. So I think he's the man for the job, but I want to say this is your chance to really prove it. At the end of the season, he really did push on, and you had some good signs from him. And the only issue is, clearly, can he do it over a full season? I think that's going to be the only issue we're going to have. But I think we are going to need, I think definitely Ellis Moss is not going to be good enough going forward as a main starter. So yeah, we're going to have to try and get somebody else in. Well, let's get into this second game. So as you see in the group so far, everybody is all square. So yeah, I'm happy with that. So Samare is going to get his chance to show us how good he is, and he actually gets the equaliser. So on the 85th minute, got us the equaliser. Pretty close game again, but it is another draw. Maritismo actually did win, so let's skip on to this last one and see if we can actually pick up a win here. So we may have to make a few changes here. So I will bring on ARA. He can get a start. Maybe we bring on Murphy. We can go on and press a Streff, but apart from that, I think I'm going to leave the rest as is, and we'll keep Bailey on the benches. Yeah, so I think we'll go with that and see if we can squeak through this one. So it's another draw. So Samare, it's another goal from him, but I think we need Maritismo to have done us a favour, and they did. So we are into the semi-finals. So we're against AIK, and that's going to be the semi-final for us. So Rodgers has decided to go, so he's gone to Dusseldorf. So he's on the move as well. Got a loan offer here for Jake Manning and Vanessa. I don't know who they are, but again, we'll ask for a 1 year loan. I think he's just going to get in game time. I think he's not going to be playing as much as he needs to actually push him on. So we've got an additional 600,000 as well. So we really are gaining lots of money at the moment. See the transfer budget up to 13 million. We do need to really start looking for some players now. So I have got a lot of players, and we're waiting to see back about. Started scouting quite a few strikers as well, just so we can get somebody in and to give Samari some competition and some help really. But yeah, we'll go and train, and then we'll get to this semi-final game. Right, and after training, we have received an offer here for Jordan Stewart. It's only 540,000 from Dundee United. So Stewart, our original backup goalkeeper, is 22 now. So it's at the higher end of his valuation. So yeah, I think we'll accept that. So yeah, we're still waiting on offers for quite a few of our players, but people are moving around at the minute. We've got a transfer offer here for Dexter Fleming. So Carter Hare, 660,000. It's well above his valuation, but I think he's a decent enough backup for us. So 660,000. I think 65 overall. I think he's still he's still a player that I think has still got some time with us really. I think Oscar Wright is good, but it's nice to have that competition. And with that, I actually do want to change their numbers around. So I think Oscar Wright, he needs to be changed to number 2 now. He is our main starter, and then we'll change Fleming to number 15. And that's the best way to go. Oscar Wright is the man in that right back spot. He's already gone up to 67 as well, so moved up again this season. Just pushing away from Dexter Fleming, but I think Fleming is a good backup for him. To this semi-final then, so AIK, we look in the other semi-final. It is Maritimo against Zulte Weregem. But yeah, AIK, that's probably the one that I would have not wanted to have gone up against. Yeah, I think we're just going with that. So I've got a couple of players that are not at full fitness, but let's quick sim and see how we get on. Oh, we've gone out on penalties, so it was 2-2. So in the game itself, they took an early lead. Lustig, Benjamin John got us an equaliser, and then we actually went ahead. Rory Edgar on 78th minute and Stefanelli 85th minute managed to get an equaliser. Yeah, so we're just moving on now, just going through the rest of the transfer window really. So we've got a development here. Kai Parker now moved into a right back position, so he's going to be 58 overall. I think we just do his week for 8 weeks and then we're moving up again. Yeah, so we're starting to get some reports back here. So Manning is accepted, or they have accepted a 1-year option. So Young Boys have come in with an offer for Timothy Millet. Again, he's nowhere near his valuation in Young Boys. It's not a team that screaming out that he would definitely want to be going to, so I'm just going to reject that straight out. But yeah, apart from that, so we did get an extra almost $750,000 just for going through to that semi-final, so actually a decent competition really. But yeah, so now I'll go through the transfers and then we'll see how we are when we come back. And here we are, we've made it to the Coventry game. So 29th of July, we're going to go into the press conference now. So I'm not sure what has gone off with the graphics. I hope that's just something that's it's going to sort itself out. Can your boys beat the drop? I'll say the players are good enough. We're a 3-star team. We've got to hope that. Obviously, we have lost a few players, so at the minute, I'm not sure what's going on here. The graphics are glitching out. And what are you expecting from the Coventry game? I say I believe in the players. We are going up a level, so it might be a difficult game to start. Samari did play really well in pre-season. I'll say that he's got a real desire. He's got a real desire to be the main man and take over from O'Connor. But yeah, that's where we're going to leave this episode. At the moment, we are quite depleted again. So we have lost a few players. I've obviously sent Manning out on loan as well as Dyer O'Connor's gone. We have a quick look at the transfers. In fact, yeah, as we've gone. So Dyer O'Connor was the big transfer. He went to Galatasaray, 8.5 million. His valuation was only, I think it was 4.3. So we pretty much doubled his valuation. So in the end, it was a case that we couldn't do anything else really. Aidan Rodgers, he's gone out on loan to Dusseldorf for the year. I think we couldn't do anything else really. I don't think his stats was good enough to really be a good backup. So I think we're going to be bringing in a new left winger, and we'll have to try and get that in as soon as possible. We are scouting a lot of players at the moment. Stewart, he's gone for just over £1 million to Dundee United. Manning's gone out on loan. Same reason as Rodgers. Like I say, it's just a case of he's not good enough at the moment, so he needs to improve. So yeah, that's the outgoings. So we've had nothing coming in as of yet, but if we have a quick look at the shortlist, we have a lot of players that we are currently scouting. We've had some scout reports for several players, but we have got a lot of players that we're waiting back for reports. So the problem is, it's going to get to a point, do we actually sign people? Because if we have a look at the calendar, I guess we do have another full month, so it's not like we need to do something straight away, but we do have a lot of games. So next episode, I think we are going to have to split July and August into 2 different episodes. I don't want to be simming so many games. But yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of games. Championship is very hectic, and then when you factor in the cups as well, so we are gonna need to buy. We do have the money for it, as you can see from our transfer budget. We have over 14 million, so we have the budget there. It's just about finding the right players to bring in. I don't want to be wholesale changes, really. It's about getting the right backups. So at the minute, I think we're looking pretty good. It's just about finding the right players to help this squad out. But that's where we're going to leave this episode, and next time we'll come back and we'll start our championship adventure. But thank you for watching, and please, in the comments, let me know who you think we should go for and if we should replace more players. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.